Hey everyone, this is Unlock24, and today we're going to be talking about the really highly competitive Red Eyes deck, and a lot of you've been asking me to do an anti Red Eyes deck, and I'm pretty sure if you just include a couple of cards in your deck, or if you run this particular skill that I'm about to show you, you can go ahead and be extremely successful against the Red Eyes decks that are basically everywhere now. And the fact that everybody got a couple of extra SR tickets, a lot of people are playing it now, even in the lower ranks. You're seeing it in low gold and a lot of platinum. So let's go ahead and get started, and let me show you. First of all, what I'll do is I'll show you a couple of decks of how they're playing Red Eyes. And it's not a definite thing that they're playing this deck, but they're playing a slight variation of it. First of all, let's see. I think I have one with Pegasus, yeah. Okay. Alright, so this is one version that they're running. They're running 3 Wyverns, 3 Red Eyes Zombie Dragon, 3 Red Eyes Black Dragon, 3 Red Eyes Insights, 3 Card of the Redstones, 2 Floodgate Trap Holes, a Soul Resurrection, and a Red Eye Spirit. And this most of the lower tiers in gold and lower platinum are running this version. Most of the time, because they only have the 2 spirits and they put in a resurrection instead, and then the floodgates instead. Some of them, instead of running floodgates, they're running adhesive trap hole, or as far as I've seen, that's what they're doing. They're not running Gosuki because again, most of the lower ranks don't have the Gosukis. Otherwise, they would play. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you a deck list with one that is running the Gosukis, but this is one of the versions that a lot of people in the gold rank are playing. Let me go ahead and show you another version. The next one, where is it at? I think it might be this one. Let's see if it's this one. Alright, so there's another version that I've seen. Basically, they're almost the same thing, except with this version, they're just running Gosukis, Wyverns. They're running this guy to destroy the back row. Red Eye Zombie Dragons to combo off with the Gosukis. 2 Insights, 2 Spirits, 2 Floodgates, 2 Mirror Wall, and a Michisuda. And this is a fairly common, like in medium platinum. And then the next version is, I think it's a little bit more competitive. I think this version is the most competitive out of all of them. Alright, so most of the time they're running 1 Red Eyes Wyvern, 2 Red Eyes Zombie Dragons, 3 Red Eyes Black Dragons, 3 Red Eyes Insights, 3 Card of the Redstones, and here it varies. Some of them are running Soul Resurrection, others are running 3 Red Eyes Spirits. I chose the Resurrection over the Spirits because I only have 2 Spirits. I'm waiting for the next Joy event to get the 3rd one. I'm not going to waste an SR ticket on it. 3 Champions Vigilance, and 2 Ultimate Providence. So basically what this deck, and if you're going against this deck, and if they happen to set up like in the first game, there's almost a guarantee that you're not going to be able to win. And the deck is it's super consistent, and those Champion Vigilance, even if he sets 2 Champions Vigilance, activates a Red Eyes Insight, and then sets a Spirit, and sends a regular Red Eyes. Most of the time what they'll do is during your standby phase, they'll have the Chain Link on. They'll go ahead and activate Spirit, and then be sitting on 2 Champions Vigilance, which is extremely hard to break. You can break it, but it's extremely hard. And another thing, if they're not relying on Champions Vigilance, they have an Ultimate Providence. And oh my god, is this card so annoying in this deck. This card can basically negate anything. It can negate spells, traps, and monster effects. You just have to discard the card that you're trying to negate. If you are negating a monster, you discard a monster. If you're negating a spell, and then a trap and a trap. But anyways, I think this is the better version out of all of them. And then there's another version. Let me see where I left it. I can't remember where I left it, but it's running a combination of like the Red Eyes and the Hogosukis, and let's see where it's at. I should have looked for it before I started this video. Where did I leave it? Let's see what this is. Alright, that's not it. Scorpion, Red Eyes, Plant Horus, another Horus. Where are you? Is it this one? I think this is the one that I just showed. Yeah, I think there's. But anyways, it's just a mixture of Gosukis, the regular Red Eyes, the zombie Red Eyes, and one copy of Veil Blood. But anyways, if you go against that last one with just the one Red Eyes Wyvern, like I said, it's super hard to win against it if they go first or if they manage to get all the cards that they need. But now I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to counter that. The easiest way to counter is playing Ishizu Ishtar. Now, one of the things that you want to go ahead and do is you want to run No Mortal Can Resist. And let me go ahead and show you what No Mortal Can Resist do. And this is basically you completely shut their deck down. Alright, so with the skill No Mortal Can Resist, what it does is can be used when your life points are at least 1,000 less than the opponent's. All monsters in the opponent's graveyard changes to Skull Servants, Zombie, Dark, Level 1, Attack 300, Defense 200. This skill, and it says this skill can only be used once per turn. So basically what that does is it switches the Red Eyes to that Skull Servant, which is basically useless, and it makes most of the cards in the Red Eyes deck useless. They can't use Spirit, they can't use basically anything to bring them back. And the way that you use that is you use it in combination with Psychic monsters. You can activate a Psychokinesis and then shortly after go ahead and activate the skill. Or you can use Destructotron. You can use a ton of things that the Psychic deck runs. And I'll show you here in a bit a copy of a deck that is running that engine to be kind of a counter to Red Eyes. Now, another thing that the Red Eyes deck has, or another weakness that it has, is that if you're able to summon a monster over 2400 attack, they basically cannot get over it. The only out that they have is an enemy controller, and a lot of them do not run enemy controller I'm not sure for what reason they're not running an enemy controller. But enemy controller is basically their only out. If you happen to summon a Marinia or a Toon Barrow Dragon, a Blue Eyes White Dragon, basically anything over 24, they are going to have an extremely hard time dealing with it. Now, the other thing that you can do is this guy completely shuts the deck down because everything in their deck is a special summon. And if you can protect this guy, well, let me go ahead and put him back in because I keep taking him out. But if you can protect this guy and you can double summon him and then protect him a couple of turns, the Red Eyes deck is not going to have enough resources to keep bringing the Red Eyes back. Because what this guy does is it destroys special summons whenever it attacks them. So you can easily get over a Red Eyes deck with just a single copy of Heavy Knight of the Flame if you can safely protect him with Mirror Walls, Head Rushes, enemy controllers, or just whatever card that you have to protect him. Even that Fiend that's out of the new set with that's Vanguard something or Guard of something that gives him a counter to where he can't be destroyed. But that's another good option. The other thing is to just go ahead and play a deck out deck, and that's like it gets Red Eyes players super salty because they will deck out extremely fast. Because most of the time they're super fast and they try to rush you and beat you down. And if you manage to slow the pace down with Worm Worms and what is it, that trap card that you can attack face down monsters, and just mill their decks, even if you mill it like a couple of times, most of the time they'll deck out. Another thing is you can destroy the back row if you're going first, and you can go ahead and set a green Kappa. They can attack it and you can destroy their back row. One of the things in Duel Links is that we don't have a main phase 2, which I strongly disagree with. We should get a main phase 2. And being that we don't have a main phase 2, they do have to set their cards before they attack. So if they happen to summon a Red Eyes Wyvern and you have this face down, and alright, so if you summon if they summon a Red Eyes Wyvern, you can destroy their spirit. You can destroy another back row if they attack into it with a Wyvern, and then the same concept goes with a Sing Sing Hu, where you can lock down the back row if you go first. and this kind of cripples them to where they can't do it, and a lot of them aren't playing Twister or any back row destruction, so this is a good card to play against it. Another thing that you can do, of course, you can always floodgate trap hole, or you can always mirror wall. Another thing that slows them really down is the golden apples. If they attack with the red eyes and you golden apples, the only thing that they can do is crash into it and again they're going to be losing a red eyes, and then attack again, and then if you have another apples, they kind of get stuck. They do have a way to revive the red eyes 3 times, so you do need to get the golden apples a little bit earlier before they can special summon it. And then the last card that I have on here, it's a Metamorph, and this is basically self-explanatory. You can go ahead and attack them. Your monster gains half of their attack, and you can just attack over the red eyes. It isn't that of a great solution, but it still works. But there's a ton of other cards that you can use. I mean, you can use Bloodless Soldier again. It's over 2,500, so it'll work. And there's a ton, there's a ton of other cards that you can find. This is just kind of the more popular cards that are out there, but there's a ton of other cards that you can try out, and most likely you'll be able to shut it down extremely quick. But anyways, I think that's gonna be it for today. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them down below. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you dislike it, leave a dislike. And if you really enjoyed it, I'd truly appreciate it if you subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.